Hey, yo everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video. Today we're going to be talking about all the juicy DC Rebirth news that has come out. Or, I don't know if I would say juicy, but bare bones. We got some stuff. We got some information, plus a nice little video from Jeff Johns talking about Rebirth. I hope you don't mind trying different angles and different positions for my videos. Still getting used to looking here rather than looking at the video here. Gotta love those iPads. And again, my hair is an absolute mess. I just came back from the gym, so I might be pulling it back a little. Maybe go a little beams, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But, so, recently, at the Image Expo or ImageCon or something like that, DC released a lot of their information on Rebirth. Which a lot of the stuff I speculated was true, and some of the stuff not so much. But for the most part, we've got a good idea of what we're looking at with Rebirth. We didn't get any artists, we didn't get any writers, no creative teams were mentioned yet, so nothing confirmed on that, nothing confirmed on certain characters returning, but we got a list of solicits for comics that are coming out, and a general idea of what Rebirth is. So I guess the best way to describe Rebirth, or at least how Jeff Johns did it, and he then subsequently had an interview afterwards kind of confirming this, is that Rebirth is not a reboot in any way, shape, or form. It is going to act like Green Lantern or Flash Rebirth, where it's going to be the DC universe as is now, the New 52 universe, but bring in aspects from the pre-New 52 universe, bringing back legacy. So what does this mean? Well, it could mean that, oh, there was a Titans team beforehand with Dick as the leader, which we're finding out now. Or the Justice Society might have existed. Or maybe there's a secret history with certain characters, like maybe there was a Blue Beetle before Jaime. Or maybe there's certain aspects of Batman or Superman's mythology which just never been revealed. Various different stuff. But it's going to act as that. I wouldn't be surprised, and even though no Justice Society was confirmed, that's kind of the big one to talk about. I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't saying, you know, oh, well, the Justice Society is going to show up. People just don't remember them, or they were secretive, but the Justice Society existed. Or something along that lines. So what does this mean for the New 52? Well, the New 52's continuity still exists. All the stories that we read of the New 52 exist, but now we're adding to it. And how do I personally feel about that? I think this is a good way of approaching things. You know, the New 52 was imperfect. I think there's a lot of things that it did right, but there's some stuff that it could have done better. For example, I'm going to just give you some quick examples of things that I think it did right and some things I think it did wrong. Things it did right. Great origin for the Justice League and solid stability for the Justice League. I think the Justice League is sound for what it is. The main characters, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, all these characters getting pushes and becoming more and more prevalent. I mean, Aquaman, Barry Allen, and Green Lantern have become more and more prevalent because of the New 52. You could say Green Lantern a little bit beforehand, but Barry Allen, like everyone's whining and grinding to have Wally West back, but the Flash was never as popular as it is now with Barry Allen. I mean, TV show, movie, as well as the comics telling consistently great stories. Characters like Cyborg are getting great stories. And them taking risks with comics like Grayson, which is fun. Barbara Gordon coming back as Batgirl. A lot of people were against that, but the comic has been better than ever, selling better than Cassandra Cain did. You know, and nothing against Cassandra. I love Cassandra, but, you know, taking kind of Silver Age characters and using them and building off them and taking risks with other comics. Like Gotham Academy is a comic that was a risk and it worked out beautifully. And then taking risks on certain comics that were good but just didn't fly. Like I, Vampire. That was a good book. It just didn't work out. So I think not just that, but modernization, the costume updates were good. I mean, the Jim Lee New 52 costumes for each character, I think are some of the best costumes, if not the best interpretations for their particular costumes. But there's been some bad, too. I mean, yeah, it sucks that we didn't, that it's taken till now to get a Titans team that's set right, that was, you know, part of Dick Grayson's Titans team, not just Tim Drake's Titans team. And it kind of sucks that, you know, as much as I enjoyed Superman and Wonder Woman's relationship, like, everything New 52 Superman, with the exception of the costume, has been mediocre at best. There's been some fun stuff here and there, like, you know, changing things up with him losing his powers and eventually getting them back, or Snyder's run, but, like, I would not be opposed to, other than the costume and his Justice League stuff, just whitewashing everything that has been Superman New 52, because it really hasn't been that good. Actually, if anything, I think it's been the only thing that's just kind of been meh at best. And I think New 52 obviously spread itself very thin with things. But I think continuity is the big thing. Like, there's definitely a lot of changes that people either liked or they didn't like, and some were for the better, some for the worse. Because as much as people like to bitch and moan about the pre-New 52 needing to come back, there's a lot of things about the pre-New 52 that wasn't good. There's a lot of stories that I'm glad that don't exist anymore that the New 52 wiped out. And I'm not going to go through a list of them, but there's a decent, fair amount of them that is glad that they never existed, or at least they're not mentioned at all. So, you know, the New 52 is not perfect, but no, what's the pre-New 52? So what are we doing now with Rebirth? We're taking the elements from both of them that made them good and moving forward with that. So I'm cool with that. And I think the fact, and as we go into the lineup, we're going to see that DC isn't focusing so much as trying new things or diversity in their new things. So when I mean diversity, I don't mean ethnicity or sexual orientation or anything like that. It means different kind of storytelling. At the beginning of the New 52, we had very much the Justice League stuff, the Young Justice stuff, the Dark, which was magic, and fucking the Edge, which was edgy stuff, and everything that was in between. It was very diverse with the storytelling. Now we're, as I'm going to go over the list, we're going to have very much superheroes, anti-heroes, and a little bit of stuff in between, which could be for the better. So that's kind of a basic gist. We got a little teaser video that was talking about some stuff. We got some images. We got some images at the end, hinting towards some characters. I'm not really going to go into those because it's all speculation at this point. And I know we all love to speculate as comic fans, but I'm not going to do that just because I have limited time. My wife is out right now with my son at AC Moore picking up some stuff. Figured this is the perfect time to do a video. So let's talk about it. So most comics are going to get Rebirth issues, which are going to be one-shot issues that are going to tell kind of the connection, you know, the transition from New 52 into the Rebirth era, as well as like an 80-page Rebirth one-shot. You're going to see a lot of the transitions of Rebirth already in the DC universe. I'm going to just spoil it right away. There's a Nightwing comic coming out, so Dick is going back to Nightwing, which was hinted in Batman and Robin's most recent issue, saying how he could become Nightwing again. And there's going to be a Titans comic, as well as a Teen Titans comic, which could be hinting towards the old Titans team, or the new Teen Titans team. It's not going to really be the new Teen Titans team, but you know what I'm saying. So I'm going to just read off the list of comics, and then I'm going to give you my opinion on all of them. Some of these comics are going to be bi-weekly, and all of them are going to be marked $2.99. All comics are going back to issue number 1, except for Detective Comic and Actions Comics, which are resuming their pre-New 52 numbering, which I think is great. I'm glad that they're doing number 1s with these. I'm okay with that. But going back with Detective Action, they really shouldn't have been renumbered. And if you think about it, it's a chance to tell different stories in Action Detective that may not necessarily need to be the New Earth, New 52 stuff. It can be pre-Flashpoint if you wanted to. I don't think it's going to happen, but who knows. So we have, in June, Aquaman Rebirth, Batman Rebirth, Flash Rebirth, Green Arrow Rebirth, Green Lantern's Rebirth, Superman Rebirth, Titans Rebirth, and Wonder Woman Rebirth, which all of them are going to get Aquaman, new series, Aquaman number 1, Batman number 1, Flash number 1, Green Arrow number 1, Green Lantern number 1, Superman number 1, Wonder Woman number 1, Detective Comics and Action Comics 934 and 957 respectively. Then in July, we're getting Batgirl and the Birds of Prey Rebirth, Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps Rebirth, Hellblazer Rebirth, or the Hellblazer, Justice League Rebirth, Nightwing Rebirth, Red Hood and the Outlaws Rebirth, and then the new issue number 1s are going to be Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps, Justice League #1, Nightwing #1, Batgirl #1, Batgirl and Birds of Prey #1, Hellblazer #1, Red Hood and the Outlaws #1, The Superman #1, and Titans #1. And then for fall, we got Batman Beyond Rebirth issue #1, Blue Beetle Rebirth #1, Cyborg Rebirth #1, Deathstroke Rebirth #1, Earth 2 Rebirth #1, Suicide Squad Rebirth #1, Supergirl Rebirth #1, Teen Titans Rebirth #1, Trinity #1, and then we're going to get Rebirth #1. And then we're going to get new issues in #1, Cyborg, Deathstroke, Harley Quinn, Justice League of America, Suicide Squad #1s, Blue Beetle, Batman Beyond, Earth 2, Gotham Academy next semester, Supergirl, Superwoman, Super Sons, Teen Titans, and Trinity, all issue #1s. So, I kind of just threw a lot at you. Wow. Sorry about that. Let's look past all the Rebirth stuff. I'm going to go title to title real quickly in my thoughts on it, like super fucking quickly. And as you can see from this lineup, it's very much Justice League stuff, Superman and Batman family stuff, anti-hero stuff, and then Titans. Kind of. Not being very risky, but maybe that might be for the best for DC. Sorry, I got thrown off by something. So let's start things off with the first issues. Aquaman, Batman, Flash, Superman, Wonder Woman all needed to happen. It was going to happen. And then Green Arrow needed to happen. Obviously, these are big names of the DC universe. These are some of the major Justice League players. I'm surprised if they weren't going to happen. So we got those comics, which I'm happy with. Green Arrow definitely needs to happen, especially with the popularity of the TV show. And they really need to get a solid writing team on there and put a lot of the first foot forward on that, because that's a comic that when it was done right, and I'm looking at you, Jeff Lemire, and Andrea Sorrentino. I think I said that right. You guys fucking killed it. Did a fantastic job. But since then, it's just kind of been mediocre at best. It was kind of cool to see Felicity and Diggle kind of transition over, but they disappeared. I wouldn't mind seeing them in the comic. A lot of people would really hate that. They're like, why would you want Felicity and Diggle in the comic? They belong in the TV show. When that's the case, does that mean Harley Quinn belonged in the TV show? Or Mercy Graves? Or Renee Montoya? I mean, there's a lot of good things that come from other media. So I think that's definitely Green Arrow need to happen. With Green Lanterns, as you notice, it's an S. So there was rumors of a Jessica Cruz Power Ring Green Lantern book. This could just be a book talking about all the different Green Lanterns, is kind of showcasing them, which again kind of moves into the fact that there's going to be a Green Lantern Corps movie, and that I guess there might be multiple Green Lanterns in the Justice League movie. Action Comics and Detective Comics, I really have no opinions on that other than the fact, like, awesome. That's kind of cool that they got those in and renumbering them. Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps. I'm looking forward to this because my motherfucking boy, Hal Jordan, you see him down there. He's in there as a star in the lead. That's going to be my Green Lanterns book. I know I'm very biased towards Hal Jordan. I love John. I love Kyle. I love Guy. I love Simon. And Jessica Cruz is pretty cool. But my boy Hal Jordan is the motherfucking man. So I'm glad that they're going to have that kind of thing going on. Justice League. It's Justice League. I want it to be the core 7. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Hal Jordan, Cyborg, Aquaman, as well sprinkled on top of there. A little sprinkle. I would like to see Shazam to continue to be in there. I wouldn't mind seeing a Firestorm or an Atom or a Hawkman thrown on top for the disrespect. But I would really like to see the core 7 in there and then sprinkled on top some other people. And then Nightwing, issue #1. So it's pretty obvious that Dick is going back to being Nightwing, and Batman and Robin Eternal, we see how that's possible. I guess they have the big Hypnos thing in the satellite, which is able to then screw up people's memories and just digitally erase it from the computers. As much as I've been enjoying Dick being Agent 37, I think it's been a great transition and great story. It's run its course, and I think DC knows that, and I think it would be good to bring Dick back into the fold as Nightwing. So I 100% behind this. Batgirl issue #1. Batgirl keep going with what they're doing right now because Batgirl's on fire. Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, even better. Because I like Black Canary, but her comic just wasn't doing it 100% for me. And then you could bring in some other characters, maybe Cassandra Cain in the team, or Spoiler, or it showed in like the video like a blimp of Huntress. So maybe Helena Bertinelli, the Earth 1 Huntress, or Earth 1 Helena actually becomes Huntress rather than Earth 2's Huntress. The Hellblazer, keep Constantine going. I'm loving Constantine. Red Hood and the Outlaws. Now, I think this one's funny. Obviously, Starfire is gone. So is she going to be going to the Titans, the Teen Titans, or to the Outlaws? Personally, I think the Outlaws are going to be one of two things. It's either going to be the original team, Roy, Jason, and Corey, or it's going to be Jason and then something drastically different, like Cassandra Cain. Like, that would be pretty cool. Or, I mean, any other character. I'm just throwing out spitballing here. But it's possible. Like, that would be fucking awesome, getting mixed up there. I wouldn't mind it being Roy, and then Jason and Corey again. Because I kind of want Cassandra Cain to go on the Birds of Prey. It's probably not going to happen, but it would fucking fit perfectly. And then you can have that bond and relationship between Barbara Gordon and Cassandra Cain that is obviously not there in the New 52. The Superman, what is that? That's a play off the short story that was released in the 1930s before Superman was created. Could that mean pre-New 52 Superman? Or could that mean Lex Luthor? Because The Superman, which was a short story, was about a villain. So could it be Lex? What happens after Darkseid War? Could he have powers? Who knows? Next is the Titans. Hopefully, and I would assume this is the... and I'm sorry, my cat is very loud. She's right here. She's just causing trouble. My Deathstroke-looking kitty, I call her Catstroke the Pernator. But really, her name is Splitsy. That's what my wife named her. But Titans. I can see this very much be Donna Troy, Roy Harper, Dick Grayson. Let's throw Starfire into the mix. Aqualad. And possibly, based off the rumors, maybe pre-Flashpoint Wally West. Who knows? I don't know how they're going to tackle that. Because it's seeing Wally's a different ethnicity now. How are you going to revert him to white? And do they want to do that? Would that cause an uproar? I don't know. It's kind of interesting. But we're getting a Titans book, which I'm cool with. Moving on to the last bunch. Cyborg. My boy, Cyborg, is going to continue getting a comic. Thank you. Please let the creative team be Marv Wolfman and George Perez. I've liked the Cyborg comic thus far, but so much could be done with him, and it needs to be in the hands of his creator. It needs to be in the hands of his mother and father. Or in this case, his father and father. Fucking George Perez and Marv Wolfman. If those two are on there, I see nothing but good stuff with Cyborg. Deathstroke, #1. So my boy Deathstroke is also getting a comic continuously. So that's great for Deathstroke. Harley Quinn needs to have a #1. Harley Quinn is like the face of the bad girl or bad boys of the DC universe, especially with Suicide Squad coming out, the TV, the movie, which lead us into Suicide Squad, the comic. They got to really push that. Apparently Jim Lee might be the artist on that, which if that's the case, 100%. Anytime I get Jim Lee on a continuous, ongoing comic, I cream in my pants. He's my favorite artist. So, and then Justice League of America, probably just picking up where Brian Hitch left off with Justice League of America. And finally, we're getting to the last batch of comics, Batman Beyond. What does this mean? Is it Terry McGinnis on Another Earth? Is this our boy Tim Drake, seeing that we have... We don't know if Tim is going to be any of the other series, because apparently it's rumored that Damian Wayne might be becoming the leader of the Titans. So is our boy Tim Drake that's going to be in the Batman Beyond suit? Who knows? I would like a Batman Beyond series set on another Earth, considering the Earth that has nothing but Batman Beyond, the DC Animated Universe Earth, and telling stories there, separate from the main continuity. Blue Beetle. Thank you. DC, you're listening to me. Probably not. But what did I say? Jaime Reyes is without a doubt one of the best characters in DC that they just don't tap into. And I don't know what they were thinking with the previous comic. It just didn't go in any good directions. The art on it wasn't really good either. But if they do Blue Beetle comic and they do it right, like this would be great. And they also showed a picture of Ted Kord in the video. So could it be Ted Kord mentoring Blue Beetle? Maybe Ted Kord was a superhero as Blue Beetle beforehand and he just didn't go anywhere, so he kind of dropped the guys. But what about Ted Kord that's already been revealed in New 52? Well, maybe that's his son. Like, who knows? Right, Kitty? Oh, yeah, she agrees. Earth 2, issue number 1. So is this Justice Society? Or is this just going to go back to Earth 2? I hope they reboot Earth 2. I'm not going to lie. I don't like the Earth 2 Society stuff. I think Earth 2 fell apart when they destroyed that Earth. Such a bad idea. So it would be kind of cool if there's a rebirth or a reboot of Earth 2 alone so that we can get Jay and Alan and Ted and Carter and all of them in their original forms. Gotham Academy next semester. Nothing left that needs to be said. It's Gotham Academy. Awesome. Supergirl need to come back, and it's been head scratching why they didn't bring her back beforehand with the success of the TV show, but I'm all for it. Superwoman. Now, what is this? Is this Lucy Lane Superwoman from? Are we gonna get that? Or are we gonna get Earth 3 Crime Syndicate Superwoman? Or is this going to be Lois Lane of the New 52 becoming Superwoman? What could it mean? Who knows? I'm actually looking intently on that one. Super Sons. What does this mean? We know nothing on it, but could it be Jonathan White, who is pre-New 52 Superman's son, working with Superboy? I don't know. I'm intently looking at it. Teen Titans. So I was talking about this. Apparently, Damian Wayne is going to be the leader. So it's a good place to throw him. With the Blue Beetle comic coming out, it could be a good place where Jaime can go. I think a good lineup would be Jaime, Damian, Gar, Beast Boy, Supergirl, Cassandra Cain. Wonder Girl, Cassandra Sandmark. I almost said Cassandra Cain. Bunker, and then Raven, and get rid of that fucking ugly Raven costume. It was good at first, but it's just, you look back at the original Raven costume, it's not good. And Trinity, which is going to be 1, 2, and 3. The Trinity of the DC Universe. This is what we need, baby girl. This is what we need. We need the fucking 3 heaviest hitters of the DC Universe in a comic, and I'm so happy to see that. So far, I have to say I'm pretty happy with the lineup of comics that are coming out. It's sad to see some comics that I like got canceled, such as Justice League 3001, which is a fun ride, or Dr. Fate, which I think they could have done a lot with, and they kind of did do some stuff with. And then what else was it that I like that's getting canceled? Catwoman has gotten better and she's getting canceled, but I really have no love lost for that. But it's interesting to see some comics are just not continuing, so who knows? But yeah, that's my general opinions. Without a creative team, without seeing any solicits, without seeing the actual covers, I can't give you too much more on that. I like that it's not a reboot. I like that it's just bringing things into the New 52, which I think is a solid maneuver. So, with that said, and like I said before, I hope the costumes stay the same. I think DC learned from the DCU not to change up the costumes because they worked out well. Wonder Woman's costume, it's kind of funny how fickly comic book fans are. Oh, Wonder Woman's costume, it's so stupid. And then you get a new costume. Oh, we want the classic Wonder Woman costume. I mean, I like this motherfucking Jim Lee Wonder Woman costume a lot. I think the Jason Fabok one is a good balance. But, that's the thing. Look at Superman's change of costume, not good, they're going back. Wonder Woman change of costume, not good, they're going to go back. I'm sure Green Lantern, they're going to go back. Flash, it already went back. Aquaman, they're going back. Bruce is going to become Batman again. So he's going back to his costume. Even with minor characters like Red Hood and Arsenal, they went back to their costume. Like, the Batgirl costume change-up was good. But, like, you don't have to do it for everyone. I think that's something that DC learned, and that hopefully they stick with the original costumes that they have for the New 52. But with that being said, what's your thoughts and opinions? Do you like what's going on? What's your thoughts and opinions on the lineup? Do you like the bi-weekly? It's going to be a little bit more money, even though it's at $2.99. You're buying two comics, the same comic twice. But what's your overall thoughts and opinions? I am at ease now, for the most part, about what's going on. So I'm kind of cool with that. But I do want to know what your overall thoughts and opinions are. So with that said, I'm going to end this video here. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.